be showing us grace in our in abundance. And so let me just talk a little. Let me just say a little thing about Grace. And that's because I've known Grace for a while, and I can say some things off my edge, what I know about Grace, what I know about her. So Grace is actually an education consultant, and she has really done so much in the space of education. She is really passionate about what she does, and she's very professional. She has been coaching educators across the globe, not just here in Africa, but also in different parts of the world. She has been talking about education and talking about tech integration, and she's also into the communication business because she does online coaching for public speaking. Am I correct, right? So she doesn't like coaching for public speaking. She is also the brain behind the Thriving Teacher. I know I've been following her in that community for a while now, and she is also very active on the YouTube space. So she's going to be sharing her YouTube channel after this so that you can also go learn. She talks about mindset. She talks about how you can thrive as a teacher. She talks about everything that you need to really educate yourself as a teacher to thrive and to make more money. We're making money. Teachers are really making money right now. So she's really in that space, and she's the right person for today's talk, which is on how to sell your brand and how to sell your expertise as a teacher. We found that a lot of us, because we see teaching as subject based, we don't see it as skill based, and you don't see the skills and the expertise around it. So she's going to really break this down, how you can really push your brand, personal brand, and also professionally, and make money with it. So thank you so much, Grace, for joining us. I'll be leaving the floor open now to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Light, for having me. Please, at any point you can't hear me clearly, I mean, we're in our country, just let me know and I can turn off my beautiful video so that it saves us some bandwidth. But it's such an honor to be here today and to be doing this with all of you. I think it was 2 days ago, yesterday, that I put on my Instagram that one thing that I love more than teaching is teachers. So I mean, I'm always excited to share my knowledge, my experience, and everything with teachers because I feel like we do such fantastic job that we don't get enough credit for. But we've left that place of, oh, well, underappreciated, underpaid, under everything, and we're taking our destinies in our hands. And that's part of the reasons that I'm here today. So I mean, I have very short time, but I promise you it's going to be impactful. If you feel like you want to multitask, so you're here, you're trying to make spaghetti bolognese, whatever you call it, just stop. Yeah, because I realize many times we try to stretch ourselves too thin and we never get results. So you've attended workshops and trainings upon trainings, you are in many communities, but you're not seeing the results. And part of the reason is because we never fully immerse ourselves into any experience. So imagine that you're having malaria, and typical Nigerian, you self-diagnose, you go to the chemist and buy, I don't even know what they take. You shall buy a brand of anti-malarial and you take the first dosage. You now wake up the next day and say, this thing is not working. You now go and buy another brand. You start on it. You say it's not working. You now say, let me try syrup. You try that one. You say it's not working. Or all of you that you've ever had pimples before. Someone say you should try Shelly. Or I don't know what they use these days. Sha. You try the Shelly. They say, no. There's this KIU Chinese company. They are the ones that are doing. You try that one. So you never stay long enough on something to get the results of it. So if you think you want to multitask, this is the wrong place to be. I would rather just go and finish cooking your beans, then come back and watch the recording. But if you truly want to see a transformation in your life, let these 40 minutes we're going to spend together count. And put down as many questions as you want. So I'll just try to run through all I have, and then we'll take questions to make sure that we just make the most of this. This has the ability to totally change your life, but it's up to you. One story that I like to tell, and I mean, true story, two brothers from the same family, they one was great person, great father to his kids, great husband to his wife, just an all-round amazing person. And his brother was the exact opposite. He was abusive. He didn't have direction in life. And both of them were asked, how did you turn out this way? You grew up in the same family. And they both gave the same answer. They both said, I watched my father. And it's like, how can both of you have watched the same person, yet your stories are different? And it's simple. The first one said, I watched my father. I watched how much my mother suffered in our home. And I made up my mind that nobody would have to pass through that kind of pain. So that was his why. That was his reason. The other brother, on the other hand, said, oh, I watched my father, and that was all I knew. So 2 people, 3 people, 10 of us here can go through the same experience or similar experiences and live with totally different stories. It's going to be the same thing with this call. So someone is going to call Madam Light in a few months and be like, oh my God, that session we had that day, God, fire caught me. And it totally transformed my business. It's transformed the way that I started to see myself. And this is how much I'm making per month. Another person is not even going to remember that this session happened. So you're going to decide now what category you want to be in. And let me see it in the chat. So what category do you want to be in? Let me know that there are people that I'm talking to. Which of the categories do you want to be in? While we're trying to answer that in the chat, I'll be looking at the chat. Let's just dive right into it. And the first thing that I'm going to say is, from this session, I'm going to be asking you some questions, giving you some prompts. I want you to just be putting the answers. Don't overthink anything. That's our problem. And this is not the age. Thank you very much. The one with transformation after this session. This is not the age where you sit on an idea, you are brooding, you are dotting I's, crossing T's, all those things we use as guises for procrastination. The people here are people that implement and execute, because it's not about how brilliant your idea is. You can take the most basic idea and transform it into everything if you simply just execute on it. Yeah, because the world admires the doers. The reason Light invited me here is because, I mean, she has seen some degree of results that I have gotten. Light is like, your people are cooking in the kitchen, or they are jogging or something. I don't even see any comments in the chat.
No, they are not cooking. Don't worry, they are with you.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so we want to look at how do I build my brand and sell my knowledge. And this is not I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to do you aspire to Maguire. It's going to be a working session. So if I ask a question, as much as you can, don't overthink it. Just put it in the chat, because I will then be able to give you feedback and say, okay, this is what I think about it. That's how to make the most out of this session. Yeah. So expect honesty, expect action. And for all of the things I'm going to talk about to happen, there are things you need to let go of, because many times the problem, I don't remember the smart man that said, there's no real mountain, something like there's no real mountain. Every man is his own mountain. So many times it's our mindset that actually stops us. So we're going to start from that point. Before you make money with your skills, there are some lies you need to stop believing. And the first one is, I'm just a teacher. You need to, and there are many ways we think about this. So you want to charge for something. So for me, that I run coaching programs for people in the education space and people outside the education space, one of the things I needed to deal early on is that mindset of, oh, because I'm a teacher, I can only offer my services to teachers. That's a big lie from the pit of hell. And you're going to dump that lie today. That lie of, oh, because I'm just a teacher, I can only serve students. Because I'm just a teacher, I can only work with parents. Because you're not just a teacher. You are so much more than that. You're a communicator, you're a creator, you're a curriculum builder, you're a leader, you're a mentor. In fact, in this day and age, I tell my teacher friends, your job is more of counseling than it is of dispensing knowledge. Because the information you don't even have access to, your students already know. So you cannot afford to be just a teacher, because the climate of education has changed drastically, and your job and your role has changed as well. So you need to just throw it away. If I put it in the chat, I throw away that mindset of, I'm just a teacher. I'm so much more than that. I say all the time that teaching is just one of the ways that I express express my godlikeness. And in teaching, there's a lot that goes on. You're managing projects, you're managing people, you're a knowledge connoisseur. How did they talk up? You are an embodiment of greatness and value. I'm not gassing you up. I'm just telling you exactly what is. Because if you remain with this kind of mindset, you will not be able to move from this point that you are. You will sabotage yourself when you're putting a price on your products and services. Yeah. You're going to convince yourself that it's just a book that I wrote. So why can't I just sell it for 3K? Why are you selling your book for 3K? Why are you selling it for 5K? Why? The brain matter that you used to write it, it doesn't deserve some accolades. Yeah. So deal with that. I'm just a teacher concept. The next one, and I see us suffer from this a lot because in our minds, we're like, everybody is now a content creator. Everybody is now online in the online space. Everybody, and that's a lie from the pit of hell. So the second lie you need to do away with is everything I know is already out there. So in your mind, you're just like, so they'll say, me too, I've joined the people that are charging for this. People, no. Even if it seems that everything you know is already out there, the truth is that your voice, your way of teaching, your examples, your experience, all of these things put together, you're the only one in the world that has it. Recently, someone called me. They had a tech makers event and they wanted me to MC the event. And so I had sent out my invoice, and then there's a form that you will fill so that I get a better understanding of what the event is about and how you want the event to, what will success of that event look like. And I sent it to the lady and she was like, how? Oh my goodness, this is way above our budget, one thing, two thing. And I said, okay, because of relationship, because we belong to a community together, Toastmasters. And that doesn't mean I'm going to give you my services for free. I'm going to give you a discount. And then I went ahead and gave her a little discount. And then I added a clause to it. I said, this is what I can give you as discounts because of the relationship we have. But if this doesn't work for you, I'm going to find you someone else that is fantastic as well. Yeah. Of course, she came back and said, oh, no, you're the one we want to work with. Am I the only MC in the world? No. I'm not even the best. I don't psych myself of being the best, but I'm the Grace Amoka in the world. I'm the only one that has the combination of my beauty, my brilliance, the values, my experiences. There are things that I will say when I'm doing a job that Light cannot say because she's not me. She has not walked in my shoes. She has not lived my life. Same thing with her. There are things she does that I can never dream of doing. So that spice, that extra that you bring, that's what makes you different. That's why your industry, any industry you choose to work in, can never be saturated. There's nothing like it's saturated. I don't believe it. Because there are people every day getting into the makeup industry. So recently, one of my friends came into the city that I live in, and she was like, oh, she needs a makeup artist for the weekend because she had a wedding she was attending. And I called 6 makeup artists. They were all fully booked. I was like, what's going on? Makeup. Every day someone is starting their makeup business and they're excelling in it. But if you go with that mindset of everything I want to do is already out there, everybody's already doing, and I'll give you a typical example. Have you ever wanted to buy something, or you bought something that you thought was it was the only thing in town? So my family at some point, several years ago, there was this Toyota that was our dream. We wanted to get this Toyota car because it felt like it was the newest brand in town. And where we were living in Kaduna, it felt like no other person owned that vehicle. By the time we bought it, guess what? It felt like it was all over the streets. It felt like that was the only car that existed. Next thing, we started seeing people were now using it for transport services. And that's the power of focus. So today, if you decide that from this call, I want to start teaching children karate, you will go on Instagram and it feels like every other post that is coming on is about karate. The power of focus. When you check like shoes and bags, you just check one account that they are selling shoes and bags. Within anything, the algorithm is going to feed you shoes and bags. And that's how the world works. So no, nothing is saturated. Everybody is not doing everything. We still need your voice. We need your perspective. We need the experience you bring. Some people like me and like to work with me because of the way that I speak. Some other people, they're like, no, I don't like her. She's too fierce. She's too energy. It's okay. Go and find your person. So the people that need you, they're out there waiting for you. Okay. The next lie, and of course, social media is affecting a lot of us. The next lie you need to dispose today is that you need a huge following to start. You're looking for Instagram followers and other followers. And my question to you is, are you looking for income or you're looking for followers? Because if you're looking for followers, I can tell you the formula to use. Just be controversial. Start saying nonsense. Dress in a way that makes people rile up or things like you will get followers. My question is, with your 100,000 followers, how much are you making? How much is in your bank accounts? So you're going to decide, do I want followers? I want to make money. There are many of your faves online. They are not they are not making. They have a lot of following. So you decide, do I want following or I want to followers? YouTube, for example, I started YouTube sometime this year, and I mean, I've been enjoying the process. I've not. So for YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, which is a lot for you to be able to monetize your channel. And once somebody hears it, they're just like, oh my goodness, I can't. But there are other ways to monetize your channel. So no, I don't have, I think I have, a little over 300 subscribers. I have how many watch hours? I'm not even counting it because I'm already monetizing my channel. There's not only one way to the market. So you don't need a huge following to start. You need people that need what you're offering. Yeah? What you need is a solution that people are willing to pay for. Simple. And to just give you some statistics to know that we're not mad people here. So the e-learning global market is projected to reach over 400 billion by 2026. How much is your money inside that 400 billion? Dollars, so it's not naira. So sometimes when I don't understand some kind of money I see, I ask ChatGPT, what does $400 million look like? And here we're talking about billion, mind you. And then ChatGPT tells me, oh, it can buy this number of Teslas, it can buy this number of landed properties and things like that. So it kind of gives me, because sometimes when we hear money, I don't know how we think about it. Yeah. So the global e-learning market is projected to reach over $400 billion by 2026. How much is your money inside there? How much do you need? How much is your money inside? In Africa alone, digital education revenue is expected to hit $1.8 billion by we're already here. $1.8 billion. How much is your own inside? And then the one that blew my mind, and this was from LinkedIn Learning Reports of 2023, that teachers are one of the most in-demand content creators globally. And you don't have any excuse. All of you that you are hustling for space on Instagram, hustling for because you think your competition is master teacher Grace. No, you're thinking too small. That's all there's space though. This space is a lot because it's a global market. It's a global market. Your clients don't have to be here. In fact, if your clients are in Nigeria, you're already, it's very limiting. So I'll give you an example. My public speaking classes, the 1 month coaching program for Nigeria is $62K for 1 month. It's a group coaching program. That translates into just $45. Do you understand? So you're already limiting yourself if all you're thinking about is your Nigerian audience. Because for a lot of parents, it's like, oh, we've paid school fees. We'll now come and pay $62K. But someone in the abroad, you're not thinking like that. So your market is global. And the more global you're thinking, the better you're able to increase your prices and give the kind of value that you want to give. Yeah. Now, let's go into the cocoa. How do I then define my brand? And don't be the person that runs away. And once you hear personal brand, professional brand, you are like I'm not among good. No. It's all around you. Branding is the difference between water from the tap and bottled water. Is the difference between bottled water that you buy from Iyasikira and the one you will buy from Eco Atlantic. The same water that we're talking about. Bringing it home, Branding is the difference between why someone will pay you 180,000 naira per month for home tutoring and pay another person thrice that amount. It's perception. So there's a difference between who you are and who people think you are. Who you are and who people think you are. There's a world of difference. So many times I send out a random survey. I ask people around me, oh, when the name Grace Amoka comes to mind, or when you hear Grace Amoka, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? If you were to learn something from me, what will it be? I'm always constantly asking. Because it's one thing for you to sit in you think what people think about you is that you are the greatest thing after sliced bread, and people don't even know about you. They don't know, and when they now know you, the perception they have of you is not the one that will give you the kind of money you're looking for. Yeah. So don't run away from anything personal branding, because yeah, that's basically it. So the first step we're going to look at is clarity. Sometimes your problem is not so we put the cart before the horse. Shit, that's how they used to say it. Yeah. You don't have clarity as to what you want to do, and that's where your problem starts. You can never sell what you can't describe. It's not possible to sell what you're not able to describe. So the first thing I want you to do, and type it as sharp as possible in the chat. What skill or subject do you teach with ease? And when I say subject, don't limit it only to maybe like subject expertise within the classroom environment. So for me, for example, one of the things that I knew that I loved to teach from the beginning was communication. I love to talk, and not just talk. I love to speak well. I love to communicate my ideas to people very well. And I realized that I started loving the experience of teaching people how to do it. So within the Toastmasters environment, I mentor people, I coach like entire clubs. So what is that skill or subject that you can teach easily? Thank you, Grace. My name's English. For context, I studied engineering for my first degree, engineering. But somehow people would always say, oh my goodness, you speak so well. Where did you grow up? I'm just like, I grew up in Kaduna, Nigeria. I did not go to anywhere. So what was that thing people are always, oh wow, when you do something, paper crafts. I've made money from paper crafts. Since when I was a child, just give me scissors. Let me not find scissors. I will design things. I will cut no more. And up till today, I still do paper crafts. I teach paper crafts during summer schools, and things like that. So you exhaust the list of skills that you can teach with ease. Thank you, Grace, for sharing. So she says English, baking, paper craft. Do you know that inside that English, there's a lot? There's so much. You can even break it down to. Do you enjoy teaching phonics more? Or do you enjoy there's something you don't say, you see elocution, you see all those, there's a lot of things that are inside this. Recently, what I've been trying to do is exam prep. So yes, I love this one. If you come and meet me and say, oh, based on your science background, come and teach my child, they're preparing for JAM, come and teach them physics, chemistry, you can never catch me there. English, I will guarantee you minimum 80. Inside your JAM, you are assured of that. When I give you that assurance, when I send you e-voice, you will happily do it, because you don't want your child to be writing JAM for 5 years. So if you need a guarantee I don't do more than that, yeah. So write that list. When we leave this place, you can continue with your list. The next is, what do people come to you for help for? What is that thing that people always come to you for help with? Your friends, they chop breakfast, and okay, there are people that are not Nigerian here. They're going through a heartbreaking situation where a boy broke their heart or a girl broke their heart, and it's you they come to for counseling. Your friend is moving houses and they need you to help them pack, because somehow you have a way of arranging a box that no other person can. So what is that thing that people come to you for help for? Write a lot. What you can even do now on WhatsApp, go on your WhatsApp and send to 10 of your contacts. If you were to come to me for something to do for you, Or if you wanted me to teach you something or help you with something, what would it be? And just listen to what people have to say. So send that message now. The next one is, what topics can you speak about for 30 minutes without preparation? What topics can you speak about for 30? You see what I'm doing here? I had to ask Light today, how many minutes do I have? Because if you leave me, this last month we had cash flow classroom workshop. It was a physical workshop. And I knew I had 2 hours, like 2 hours of core teaching. I was standing. I knew it would still not be enough. I didn't need notes. I didn't need anything. Just give me a mic, or no, I don't even need mic. I can talk about this for days because so Apostle, I think it's Apostle Paul that says it's things that we have seen, we have heard, our hands have handled. I've done business and it failed. The easiest part of business is writing the business plan. Yeah. So think about what are the things I can speak about for 30 minutes or more without preparation. I can talk about teacher empowerment from today till tomorrow. If it's STEM, so think about it, write all those things. That is what some people call your zone of value or your zone of genius. Yeah. So if you're also familiar with this Ikigai concept, it can also help you. So what am I good at? What do I love to do? What are people willing to pay me for? And what does the world need? And you need to spend time with yourself to answer all of these questions. Yeah. But once you're able to answer them, you are well on your way to greatness. So now we want to then, from all we've written, you want to then write a sentence or two that defines your brand. And see, so the good news about this is there's nothing set in stone. You can change it anytime. So don't be stuck on small things like, oh, logo, color, how the aesthetics of my, those are mundane things. Don't never make your decisions quickly. Be an executor. Don't be, should I use Seller or should I use Space Stack? No, those are not decisions you should weary yourself over. So write in a simple sentence what defines you. So at some point I used to say that I help ambitious teachers position themselves for more income, impact, and influence. Simple as that. I put the ambitious there so that I realized that at some point I just knew that my audience was not Facebook teachers. At some point, I could not speak their language because those ones, you are telling them one thing, they are saying another thing. We are not on the same level. People that you invite for a workshop, they'll be asking for money for data. That's not my audience. I'm looking for people that already have a certain kind of hunger. So you need to be able to define that, and you will keep tweaking it. Now that's not exactly what I use because I have different brands. There are different statements that I have for the different, and it depends on the audience that I'm talking to. Yeah. So are you the person that helps young learners improve English fluency through storytelling and games? And again, it's not about how simple or complex your idea is. What matters is that you execute. Be such an executor, because the truth is you're going to fail. On this journey, you're gonna fail. You're going to try out an idea and it's not going to work the way that you thought it would. So start early and then make adjustments. From the first time I ran Profitable Teacher Program to the second time, it's not the same thing I have right now. So there are things that would change based on the feedback that I get from the clients that I'm working with. Yeah, so write that. Next, we'll move to the framework. If it is in your head, it cannot pay you. Remember that. If it is in your head, only in your head, it cannot pay you. So now what we want to do is bring it out and turn it into income. So we want to package something and profit from it. And we'll break this down into 3 simple stages. The first stage is for you to productize your knowledge. Productize your knowledge. So from what you've written that you can do, the skills that you have, the things that you love to do, what can you create? So think about it. What can I create? And there are many things. So from online courses so online course is you pre-record the course and you put on a platform like Seller, for example, and people can take the course, how they want. You can have webinars like we're having now. So my cash for cashing, for example, sometimes it's a 1-day workshop, sometimes it's a 2-day workshop, and I announce it is a live webinar. People come, we have conversations like this for 2 hours. I collect my money and I go to sleep. You can package into ebooks or workbooks. You can package into private coaching or tutorial. So profitable teacher program. And I'm giving you these examples of what I've done so you know what is possible. And you know that you're not a mad person because of the kind of ideas, the bright ideas that come to you. So I run a 1-month coaching program. We have live sessions on Sundays. Then I give tasks. So there are workbooks that they have to do. There are tasks that I give you to do. There are group projects I give you to do, and just things like that. So there's private coaching, there's tutorials. If you want to do teacher resources, from guides to templates, you can get ideas from teachers pay teachers, something. Yeah, that's that platform. You can just go there and see the kind of things that people are actually selling and making money from. So that's the first stage. The first stage is productize your knowledge. The second is, okay, now I've put this thing together. Where do I sell it? So what are the platforms that I can start to sell? And talking about selling, some of us are afraid of selling. Sell with your full chest. Nobody will bite you. Nobody will beat you. You don't, one scripture that I like says that you receive not because you don't ask. You expect that people will just know that you have something to offer. No, you're gonna sell every day. Every single day you wake up, you're gonna sell. And that can come in different forms. Sometimes it's you're putting out content for people to have the awareness that this is what you do, for you to then close a sale. A week should not pass that you've not sold. Why? I don't want to say a day so that it will not look like but you should wake up every day thinking about selling. And I like to ask a question of, sometimes our fear for selling is because we don't believe so much in the solution that we were bringing to the world. That's why we started from mindset. You need to deal with every mindset that tells you you're not good enough, you're not an expert, you're not this and that. Any mindset that doesn't help you on this journey, you need to do away with it and sell with your full chest. Some of us, someone who you would pitch your idea to someone, they will now say, how much is it? You write the amount, then you now say, how much can you bring? Why? Who asked you? Why? By yourself, you're already saying that it's not worth that the amount you're calling. One of the reasons, when my bio is read a lot of times, there are certain organizations that you will hear. And for me, it's not about the bigness of the organizations. It's about the defining moments that happened to me when I worked in those organizations. African Leadership Academy and the World Bank, for example. I've worked in other organizations, but those two were defining points for me. African Leadership Academy was the first time I was paid in dollars. So while every other person was complaining that, dollar is spiking, it's going up, waiting concern me. The more it was going up, guess who was smiling to the bank? The second one was the World Bank. When I received my contract letter, hey God, and I saw what they were paying me per day. Per day, not per month. It was a daily pay. It was what's my teaching job was not paying me in a year. I can never exaggerate it. I was trying to find the letter so that I would share my screen with you guys and show you, but just trust me. So what that experience did for me is it showed me how valuable I am. It was so defining for me that right now there's no the worst case, the worst thing that can happen is that you say you can't afford me right now, but you will come back. I have no doubt. So I don't have a doubt as to the value that I bring to the world. If you can't afford me right now, it's okay. So today a parent just sent me a message that, she wants to have a conversation with me so that we'll see how we can work out a payment plan. So it's not a case of, it's too expensive. No, it's that I want a payment plan. And yes, I will give you a payment plan. Because there was a point in my life, people gave me payment plans for coaching programs I wanted to attend, but I couldn't afford. So I will give you a payment plan. But whether I doubt the value I bring, no. So you need to deal with that. You need to settle it in your mind that you bring value. And the way I want you to think about it is everybody in life is trying to get from point A to point Z. You haven't gotten to point Z, but guess what? You've gotten to point J. There are people that haven't even taken off from point A. Those are your clients. Those are the people you're trying to help. So while you may not be a Niger brand chic that can help businesses 20x their income, you can teach people how to get their first 3 clients because you have gotten your first 3 clients. When I started teaching about building your personal brand, guess who was my first testimonial? Me. So I was my first client. I could say, and people could see, this is what I've been able to do with my brand. And I can help you do the same. Then I started to get clients and I started to get testimonials from them. So don't disqualify yourself from this, because that's the greatest hurdle. In this thing we're talking about, the greatest hurdle is going to be your mind. You need to wake up every day and tell yourself, I am a person of value. I bring value to the world. Atmosphere shifts everywhere that I enter. Yeah? Okay. So pick the platform that you want to sell on. Is it WhatsApp? People that are my WhatsApp, they know. So for people looking, they don't know how intentional it is. Every single thing I post, Light, at least Light is on my WhatsApp. Every single thing I post, there's Grace Amoka brand on it. Maybe 1 out of 20 times I will randomly write, you know how you type on WhatsApp, like in a random space, you do text. You won't catch me doing that. You won't catch me doing that. Hardly. Once in 30 occurrences. I'm that intentional. So when a bright thought comes into mind, because I do this thing where I share my ideas or notes and things like that, I have templates on Canva. I just paste it there and I put it out there. Guess what? People are going to share it. And they are going to know that, oh, there's a certain Grace Amoka and she speaks wisdom. So you need to be that intelligent and that intentional about you know, your brand. So there's WhatsApp, there's Seller. I use Seller for most of my products and services. There's Instagram and Facebook. It can be as simple as a Google form. So don't dwell on, I'm trying to do a landing page, I'm trying to do my website. That's why I haven't started. Those are intelligent. And the third stage is promote smartly. Promote yourself smartly. How? Use testimonials. If you have testimonials from parents, go and meet them today. Testimonials from your students, go and meet them today. Collect the testimonials. Other ways of promoting: create short videos teaching one small thing. That's one thing I've been I'm just like, fine face, fine voice. We're going to do more videos this year. So that's the energy I came in with. So there's no week that passes that you will not see my video. It's not possible. And you don't have to overthink it. I use my phone. I use this phone for all my videos, from YouTube because you will never get to a point where you are fully satisfied. See, this procrastination is a demon. No, it's just that it doesn't have horns, so you don't know how serious it is. It's going to tell you need lights. Then after you buy lights, it's going to tell you need a mic. After you buy mic, it's going to tell you need to go to a studio. After you go to a studio, you will never get to a point where you're fully like, this guy, okay, now I can start. No. So you're going to start where you are with what you have and ask, how best can I, do this? We're running out of time. Yeah. Offer a free session or a lead magnet. So if you go on my Instagram, for example, you'll see different resources that you can get for free, but I'm not careless about it. There's none of my resources that you will get that there won't be a link to click that will carry you to my LinkedIn or my Instagram or somewhere. You will enter my trap in a good way. In a very good way. Yeah. So be intentional about it. If you're offering a free session, you should make it clear that there should be a value that you're getting from that free session. Either you want to get testimonials. So let the people know, for this free session, I'd like to get testimonials after our session together, or a lead magnet, or a free, some people call it a freebie. Yeah. You can partner with a school for after school coaching. So something I currently do, the opportunities and see, you can literally wake up and say, I want to do this for a school. So I woke up because people have always said, oh, wow, you design so well. Or no, it started from who does your designs for you. And I'm like, I do it myself. I do all my designs on Canva, from my landing pages to my Instagram posts to anything, my YouTube thumbnails. I do everything on Canva. When I decided, well, let me write proposal and send to schools, guess what I teach them? I teach them graphic design and how would I even call it? And media skills. I go in on Friday on Thursday for primary, 1 hour. Friday for secondary, 1 hour. That's all. And they are paying me what full-time teachers doing morning till night. I'm not saying you should leave. Don't leave the classroom. Or before you say you came for my session and you left, don't leave. Oh, it means I'm still in the classroom. I'm just telling you that there are possibilities that you haven't even explored, and you need to just give yourself permission. Finally, your community is important. I was in a session with Adebayo Alomaja. He calls himself the education futurist, and one of the things he kept hammering was surround yourself with people that are not normal in a good way. You can't be the superstar in your group. They are going to bury you. Don't be with people that sing your praises to the point that you think you've arrived. You've not arrived anywhere. Oh. Even me, when people, if you're too driven by accolades, my post today, it was something about accolades. And it was myself I was talking to. A lot of times when my posts they are letters to me. I said, dear GA, dear Grace Amoka, accolades are moments. The mission is eternal. Eyes forward, stay hungry, stay grounded, stay focused on what is ahead, not what's behind. So people are there shouting, Grace Amoka, she has worked here, she has done this, she has consulted for this, she has consulted. I'm not hearing it because my successes are not going to, forgetting what is behind, looking forward. The journey is still far. So don't be in communities where you are the king of the coast. You are walking in, your friends are singing Odogu Don Land. You too, you are feeling like an Odogu. You are not even an O, not to talk of Dogu. So surround yourself with people that push you. Recently, I was with one of my colleagues, and hey God, it was such a challenge. I had to go and revisit my financial goals. Stay with people, stay around. Don't be only in teacher communities. There's a limiting mindset that we have, and if you don't relate with people in other industries, you won't break out of that mindset. If all the communities you are is how to do class management, we've passed that place. So I didn't say you should come out, but shall be in other communities where you will hear some kind of money, your heart will do gish. You even be doubting if it's real, but it's real and it's possible for you. Yeah. So finally, I'm going to give you semi-finally, I'm going to tell you very short. Oh my God. I'm just looking at time. Finally. You're going for
don't worry. Tell us. We're in class. Continue. All right.
So I'll tell the very short story, and it's the power of just asking for what you want. Why we started from clarity is so that you're clear enough on what exactly it is that you're selling. And clarity comes on the journey. You're not going to sit down and something is just going to drop. You want to hear my daughter, or that daily and Jola. It's time to wake up. Now move, write a proposal. No. Sometimes it's as you're going, you realize that I'm supposed to be doing something else. I never woke up and got one huge inspiration to say, oh, public speaking for kids. No. I was on my own, jejely, and people will pay me those kinds of compliments. So I'm like, okay, I'm working with kids already. The parents trust me already. People are asking me for coaching programs. Okay, let's turn it into something. I never set out to be an MC. Never. So clarity will come in the doing. So don't obsess over, I need to be very clear. So I'm going to tell you this short story about the power of asking. See, you will swallow your pride. You will eat eba and push down the pride. That's ego that tells you, oh, what if I ask and they say no? That's the worst that can happen. And it doesn't diminish you in any way. I've sent proposals to schools, they didn't even reply me. And it's okay. It doesn't touch my identity at all. It doesn't decrease my beauty or my value. So in 2021, I was in Uganda for work. I was doing some work with African Leadership for Education. And then, I mean, that time I started making small money, you know, but I mean, nothing significant. So it was December, and based on the contract that I had with them, I was supposed to visit home once through my contract period. So I had already planned that since I had gotten into the country, maybe September, it was going to be a waste of my money or a waste of that opportunity to come back home in December. So I had put my journey in February, kind of like half the mark. So by the time my food stuff finishes and all, then I'll come back home, restock, see my family, you know, and all of that. So that was the plan. But December came and I had fallen so sick. I was sick, so like physical sickness and then also homesickness. So I really wanted to be home. So I was speaking with one of my friends on the 22nd, just before Christmas. I don't think I've ever spent Christmas outside home. So it's kind of like a tradition that we spend Christmas together. So I was already feeling that pain of, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on Christmas. And then I checked flights. It was going to cost me about $1,200 at the time for a round trip to go and come back. I'm like, I don't know that I want to spend all my money just to come and see my family members, you know, but I really wanted to come home. Meanwhile, there was the group that I belonged to. I had taken one of her coaching programs, and so the coach comes on one day and says, oh, it was on WhatsApp, and she says, oh, she was having a conversation with some of her friends, and she realized that adults we become too intelligent to make wishes, and just, you know, that childlike, I want to fly to the moon, I want to go to Disney. Your parents don't have shishi in their accounts. We lose as we grow older, we lose that ability to dream. And the task that day, she simply said, dream. So what do you want for Christmas? And to tell you the kind of group that was, people were asking for yachts and trips to the Mauritius and just very luxury things. I say, hey, you will not have a problem in life because, hey, now wow. So those are the kinds of communities that I say you need to immerse yourself in. And so a friend of mine called me Dami, and we're just having a random conversation. And I was just gisting him. I'm like, Dami, can you imagine? There's this group that I belong to, and they're saying people should make their Christmas wishes. And it's like, oh, so you say you want to come back home. So put it there. In my mind, I'm just like, she they whine me like $1,200. So like, how does that make sense? And it's like, just put it out there. So while we were still talking, I typed. My Christmas wish is a round trip from Uganda to Nigeria to spend the Christmas holidays with my family and yada, yada, yada. Yes. And within 45 seconds, the coach now sends a message and says, done. Like she literally types, let me type it for you, DONE. And I was just like, what does done mean? Meanwhile, like my friend, of course, doesn't understand what's happening. So he's like, what's going on? Are you okay? And I start to cry. So in my mind, I'm just like, okay, maybe she's trying to do show on the group. Maybe she doesn't really mean it. And she sends me a private message to say, send your account details. Men and brethren, that was how I mean, she sent the $1,200 and I got home. And I mean, the story about getting home and then finding out how really sick I was, it was such a, but the story, I've never forgotten that story, and I will hardly forget that story because it taught me the power of just asking. If you never ask, the answer will always be no. If you don't put out your product to sell, you will never make a dime. If you don't send out that proposal, you will never know. If you keep disqualifying yourself from all the you will see an application, they say UN, they're hiring people, spend 6 months in the UN headquarters. You have no idea the kind of opportunities that's going to be for you. You just tell yourself you don't qualify for it. The answer will always be no. Nothing ventured, nothing lost, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. So that ego that makes you feel like, what if what? They say, no, that's it. That's all. You move, you continue to the next one. And you need to train yourself in, just have that odeshi. You cannot be shaken by no. It's just a no. Yeah? So for the next 30 days, I want you to do this. One, and it's everything we've done so far. Define your brand and create one product. Just one. Just one product. 2, set up your selling platform. And they are so easy. Until now, I still don't use the paid version of Stella. I'm still using the free version of Seller to sell my books, my, what's that thing called? My coaching programs, and things like that. I use Seller. The only thing that I pay for is so I pay for ChatGPT's pro version. I pay for CapCuts and just basic things. So I mean, most of these things, the free version, you're good enough to start with. Yeah. So set up your selling platform. Promote on one channel consistently. Nobody can ever know what I'm going through in life based on my WhatsApp status. It's not possible. It's not possible. Every day, there's something on my WhatsApp status that will tell you, just without saying it so expressly, I'm passionate about education. I'm passionate about your child, more passionate than you, who is the parent of the child. So that's when I now say I have a course. I didn't even, so there was one time a parent reached out to me to say, oh, she was having challenges with her 10-year-old child. She wasn't able to get through to her and all of that. I'm like, oh, let's jump on a call. And then next thing she now asks, oh, how much is it? In my mind, I'm like, I did not know they used to pay money for this kind of thing. So promote yourself consistent. Don't mindlessly. We're in an age where we're very, I don't know, we're getting very, you're just posting memes, catching trip. It's good though, it's okay to have fun and vibes. But make sure in the fun and vibes, money is entering your pockets. That's my own. So be intentional. Go and do an audit. Go open your browser and open incognito tab. Type your name. What are the things that come out? All those nonsense blogs you are following and you are commenting comments that is not your business. Go and remove yourself from there. There's hardly a time I go on Instagram that I don't unfollow someone, because I'm always evaluating how is this converting for me? How is this connecting to my grand purpose? You have to be that intentional about life. And then final point is gather feedback and improve. You will always improve. Think about, hey God, guys, I don't know what has deceived us to feel like you have to start something perfectly. WhatsApp, do you know what the revenue for WhatsApp is? They're consistently changing things about WhatsApp, about Instagram, about Facebook. Who are you? So you're going to change, you're going to improve, you're going to refine, you're going to pivot, you're going to tell yourself is part of the process. It's part of the process. Yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure, an honor doing this with you. I think we can take a few questions. Remember, make plans like an adult, believe like a child. Make plans like an adult, believe like a child. Thank you so very much, Light, for having me. I'm so grateful. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Grace. I'm just busy trying to type so that, because I will need all those things later. But thank you so much for sharing your experience, because you made it so real, especially for us teachers, and also sharing your growth process. So I just need to make you. I've also learned a lot from you, I must say. I think what is really standing out for me at this point is I don't really post on WhatsApp anyway, but I see your post on WhatsApp and I just observe that, oh, okay, that's what she's trying to do. Oh, everything's always having Grace Amoka on it. Everything is always having Grace Amoka. It's always having that Twitter thing, that name. Oh, is that what she's trying? Okay, so the idea is to just register the people's mind every time. So you can see what she's trying to do. She's trying to hypnotize us. Okay, so do we have questions? Let's so that we can call it a day. Wanted to just do 6 to 7, but I'm sure everybody was enjoying what she was doing, what she was saying. And please, I'm just begging again. It's not the talk, it's the action that is very important. And she has told you her story. Everybody has a story. Sincerely, you don't have to start perfect. Many of us even still face that same problem to today. I've been pushing writing a particular ebook, not because I don't know what to write, but the problem is, are you sure I don't need to buy that particular? I need to subscribe for one software. Are you sure I don't need to do? I think I need to. I need to before I can my platform. Oh, a website. So those things are like what she said, just intelligent way of postponing whatever you're meant to do. So do we have questions? Do we have questions? You can unmute if you want to ask questions so that she's able to answer. Okay, somebody is asking you that how are you growing your YouTube channel? I know that you just I don't know when you opened your YouTube, but I know I've been following your YouTube channel. Yeah. Okay, someone says she's looking forward to Phenomenal Teacher. Are you going to be part of it?
Of course. So I'm speaking for those of you in Abuja. The Phenomenon Teacher Conference is going to be in Abuja on 28th, and I'm going to be speaking. See, you think you've seen fire, and I say it so proudly. I mean, imagine meeting me in person. You are just going to make magic together. So June 28th, register for it. You can find the link somewhere on my LinkedIn profile. About my YouTube channel. So one of the things that I said I was not going to do is I don't focus a lot on things that are outside my control. A few people have reached out to me to say, oh, we can help you grow your YouTube channel, and it's in hundreds of dollars. I haven't gotten to the point where my YouTube channel can afford that kind of promotion. I know that I will get there, but for now, I've told myself what is within my control. I'm still trying to understand how YouTube works. What is within my control is you're going to post a video, whether you feel like it or not. You're going to post at least one video per week. One quality video. And when I say quality video, within what I have. Yeah. So I don't have any grand setup. I don't have anybody that helps me do editing or anything like that. I'm just starting. And I'm going to be very happy by December of this year to tell you, oh, this is where I started and this is where we are now. Is there going to come a time, because I have big dreams where I'm going to have like a full-fledged TV station where we're going to be doing amazing things, where I'll have an entire team, and all I will need to do will be to show up. Just show up and talk like I love to talk. People take care of every other thing, the video editing, I have those dreams, but I'm never going. So what we do is we blame our dreams for our being stagnant, which is unfair. So I'm not going to say, because of that grand dream that I have, I'm not going to start. No, I'm going to post my videos every week. I'm going to do the shorts. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to learn from the mistakes and understand how these things work. Reverse engineer. So a way that I have been able to monetize my channel without necessarily having up to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours is, if you listen to my videos very well, I will talk about my book. I will talk about my programs. And someone must sign up. Do you understand? So while I might not yet be paid from AdSense and all those other influencer type thing, I'm talking about. So if I tell you these are 7 extra income streams you can have as a teacher, you think is absent-mindedly that somewhere I just happen to mention, oh, there's a program that I do, Cash Flow Classroom. No, it's part of the script. It's an intentional process. Do you get? So no matter, even if it's 2 people watching make sure that you're intentional about it. Make sure you respond to comments. Make sure many times we're looking for 10,000 followers. The followers you already have, do they know you? Do you know them? Yeah. There are people sometimes I take these ridiculously long breaks from Instagram, because once Instagram starts making me almost crazy, if I see that my temperature is rising too much, I'll just leave Instagram for you people. There are people that will send me messages and say, where are you? Do your people know you so much that they can look for you when they don't see your post for a while? So focus on the things that are within your control. If you have a big budget, by all means. So first things I will say you should invest in is get a mic, because you want clear sound. For your phone, just wipe the lens before you shoot. Wipe the lens. Shoot in front of a window. Open the window very well. Then if you can now get lights, get one light. Before you keep building. Every day there's something new. The mic I currently use, it was a friend. I had started podcasting on grief and how to deal with loss. And a friend was like, wow, I really like what you're doing. I want to give you a mic, and bought a mic for me. So there are people that will see your work and be like, oh, I want to be part of this. But you have to give them something to work with. Yeah. So, I mean, that's how I'm building. I talk about my YouTube channel a lot. When I send out my newsletters, there will always be a link to a video. So what I want to do now, what I'm working towards is there won't be any question you would ask me that I won't have a YouTube video that addresses it. So rather than every time maybe an Eric reaches out to say, oh, I'm finding it difficult to upload something to start selling educational resources, I'm like, oh, I have a video for that on YouTube. In my newsletter, I'm talking about how to market yourself, but I have the YouTube video on it. So for me, that's my goal. I'm building a repository. And that's a way to think about social media. Think about it as, so those notes things that I put, Light, I tell myself it's my diary. I tell myself it's my daily diary. So many times I just get inspiration. I have posts for days. And that's what your creative mind, you're drawing from an endless source. Do you know who you are? You can't run out of content. It's not possible. Why you think you can run out of content is because you're not putting out anything yet. But once you start putting out, you realize that you're pulling from an endless repository. You're made in the image of God. And as long as God cannot run out, you cannot run out. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions? Any more questions, anyone? Because we may just have to call it a day at this point. But before we round up, I want you to kindly share your YouTube link first, then your LinkedIn profile, and any other thing you want us to really connect and to share with you. But I'm going to be asking the question for myself because I'm also learning, and it's actually very awesome that I'm getting a lot of this insight. So I'll talk about mindset because I work with teachers too, and the truth is, almost everybody I meet has that thing. It's only people that have stepped up to the administrative game that kind of see things in a different pattern. But once you're a teacher, you're a class teacher, a lot of times we don't see outside the subject. So I want to ask that, how do you build creativity when it comes to mindset? So maybe if I can break it down for that, you said you teach English. In that same English, there's public speaking, there's creative writing, there's grammar, there is so much. But a lot of us as teachers, maybe I'm an English teacher, I'll just see it as English language, full stop. And you find out that as teachers, we don't think about making money in what we're doing because we don't see the money in what we're doing. We feel like, okay, if you're a teacher, your side hustle should be you're selling bags, you're selling tomato, you're selling something else. We're not saying that there's money in that thing that you are actually very smart and very good at doing. You understand? We feel that. So how do we pass that point? How do we begin to see the business of that subject that we're actually teaching? How did you do it, and how can you help us?
So the good thing about the time we're in right now is you have AI as your friend. So today, the question I was asking was, what does a knowledge consultant do, and what does it take to become one? Because I'm just like, knowledge consultant, it sounds like me. It sounds really cool. It sounds like I can be doing this for big organizations. Yeah. So sometimes we know the titles of certain things, but we don't see ourselves in there because we don't understand the skills that come together to make these things up. So I'll throw this back to you to say, go on ChatGPT and ask it, what are the skills that a teacher would typically use in teaching certain things? And tell it to break it down for you. So from planning skills, there's no teacher that shouldn't be great at managing projects. All you may need to do is get one certification just to maybe give yourself that bragging right to say, But there's nothing that stops you. What a project simply has a start date, an end date, a timeline basically, and deliverables. This is what you're doing in your class every day. Yeah. So ask, what's the business of type whatever skill it is? What are the different businesses that I can get from this particular skill? That's how to that's how to use AI as a thinking partner. Don't my friend Adibayo says, don't settle on low-level tasks of just asking AI to do your lesson plan for you and things like that. When you're having these brainstorming sessions, like when I want to have these sessions where I'm thinking about how can AI replace what I'm currently doing? Those are the kinds of questions me I ask. And then how can I position myself in the next 2 years? How should I be looking at the business that I'm currently doing the next few years? Yeah. So have that back and forth conversation to say, what are the opportunities? So if you're using the Ikigai concept that I asked you to use, so what do I love doing? AI cannot tell you that one. Now you go answer the question, give them. So what do I love doing? What am I good at? What does the world need? And what are people willing to pay me for? Have all of those things. Yeah. Send it to ChatGPT and say, from all of this, can you analyze the different skills that I have from this? Can you help me? What kinds of jobs? So for example, if you're thinking of transitioning from the classroom somewhere else, what kinds of jobs will I be well suited for based on these things? Yeah. If I want to start a business, what kind of business can I start based on this? So those are some of the ways that at the time, I think I've just intentionally surrounded myself with people that believe in me much more than I believe in myself. And it started with my sister, who, is now late. But it started with my sister, who ridiculously believed in me. Then I started to get into circles where, I ask people, who is that person that you think about and you see yourself, like your future self in them? How did they get to where they currently are? What kinds of communities do you need to belong to that will give you that push that you need? So some of these things, it was in being in those communities, immersing myself in those, having conversations with people that you just need one light bulb moment and it changes everything. But back to my initial, if all you take from here is to just be ridiculously an executor, make plans like an adult, believe like a child. Just take, how you will know whether you make progress from what we've said is if you start taking action this night. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait for tomorrow. This night, what's that one thing you're going to do that will get you closer to where you want to be? So those are some of the ideas that I have. Now we have AI. Just AI it away. Yeah. I hope that helps.
Yeah, that helps. Thank you so much. So remember that what is that one thing you're going to do at this point that is going to, you're going to be grateful for tomorrow that you're doing. So I'll be sharing, to everybody that registered, I'll be sharing this. I'll be sharing our YouTube and our LinkedIn platforms so that you can actually join. If you're interested in getting certificate of attendance, kindly fill that also. Thank you so much, Grace. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for giving us this awesome power-packed session. It was amazing, I must say. Okay, so kindly give your feedback. Let's know, give your thumbs up. But I'm calling it actually, we really passed our time, and I'm sure that it's worth it. It's worth it. So start that YouTube channel you want to start that. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, okay. So share your takeaways on LinkedIn and tag Grace Amoka. And I've always said that this is also one way you can also reach out to be part of a coaching program, be part of anything that she is. And I really love the spirit of Oladile and Jola. She has been like, "I'll not let you go." Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you so much, Grace. Bye.